对，类似于拍照的啊，可能是一些。如果你穿汉服来，我绝对不会这样说，对吧？但是你穿和服啊，作为一个中国人来说，你是中国人，你是中国人吗？
我想请问，你可以这样大声对我吼吗？
可以。
为什么？
那现在啊，如果你们不配合，
我想有什么理由呢？
涉嫌寻衅滋事，好吧？
这么穿一个衣服就是。
好吧，那你们跟我们回去吧，好吧？走，带走吧。好了。
You know, be very careful when you're overseas. Be very careful what you're doing, what you're carrying. You know, we talked about Brittany Griner. We talked about we've had a couple of videos just in the first week of the new season where people in Thailand and Indonesia have been arrested for particular content because it's of an adult nature, porn nature. According to them, that they're violating on that. But the thing about it is, sometimes the stuff is not really porn. Like the one content creator that was arrested, she was just taking a picture of herself nude, her front side facing a tree as she's holding a beautiful tree overseas. You know, I think it was in Indonesia. Was it Indonesia or Thailand? One or the other. And that's all it was. And she got arrested for that. Certain bikinis can get you arrested overseas as well. And what we found out of China, certain cosplay can get you arrested in Asia and specifically China. And we're going to read a little bit of this. So this is off of Danica Davison, which we always recommend over at Otaku Magazine. This was back in the middle of summer. Chinese anime fan claims she got in legal trouble for cosplaying. There are reports that a Chinese anime fan got in trouble with police in, excuse me for the pronunciation, Shizhou, China, for dressing like Ushiko Kufumi from Summertime Rendering. Summertime Rendering we can't get because basically it's on Disney, unless you go high seas. The issue was that she wore a kimono, which goes against the current Chinese government nationalistic sentiments, and also is seen as a reminder of the human rights abuses that the Japanese army committed against the Chinese people in World War II. Bullshit. According to the fan, she and a photographer were minding their own business when they were swarmed by police. Some of them encountered was caught on video. A police officer is seen yelling, "If you come here wearing a hafu," which is traditional Han Chinese clothing, "I wouldn't say this, but you're wearing a kimono as a Chinese. You are a Chinese, are you?" She asked this what was all about it and was told that on suspicion of picking quarrels and provoking trouble. CNN, which reported on the story, said that this was a catch-all charge often used for dissident journalists, human rights lawyers, and activists. The video ends with the woman being taken away by police. She says that the police interrogated her for around 5 hours and took her kimono. They also allegedly told her not to talk about this online, so she talked about it online anyway, which is now what we have on the video and some information. The video was eventually censored. CNN could not verify all the details of what she claimed happened, but there was enough of it that CNN reported on it. "I feel like I have no dignity right now," the anime fan wrote online. The people said, "What I did was wrong. I feel powerless. I like Japanese culture, European culture, and also traditional Chinese culture. I like multiculturalism. I like watching anime. Is that wrong that I like anything?" CNN wrote that most comments to her online statement took her side, but she also got remarks like, "Why does a good Chinese wear kimono? Think about your grandparents went through." Let me tell you something. Over here, we wear kimonos. There are people here that wears kimonos of all types on there. Doesn't mean that they're Japanese, Chinese on there. You have Hispanics, you got blacks, you got whites. You know, you want to wear a kimono, that's fine. Yes, they were disparages during the Second World War with Japan, stuff like that. That has nothing to do with clothing. Okay? It has nothing to do with clothing. The politics of the time, the people who were in power at the time went to war with China. It has nothing to do with kimonos. Most people, and I'll tell you this, in China, most people, because the way the Chinese Communist government is, wouldn't even be told about the history of Japan. The only thing they're told about it is that they are the enemies, like Taiwan and other Asian countries, of the people of China, the People's Republic of China. That's about it. That's about it. They don't go into the histories of the situation, because if they go into the histories, then they would have to truly discuss about all the disparaging things that happen between the two countries, and including some of the crimes that the Chinese have done, both past, present, and possibly future crimes on there, because they're continuing to be violating the human rights in China right now. I mean, the UN is talking about it right now again, but then nothing is being done. There are tons of video footage out of the Xinjiang province where basically they have Uyghur Muslims in there in concentration camps, torturing them, enslaving them, murdering them. And people don't realize this is what's going on there, because they're trying to keep it all quiet. It's been going on for quite some time. World War II is repeating itself. See, the thing about it is that they're trying to uniform everybody in China. They don't want anime in China, and they have banned anime in China. They've banned porn in China. They've banned Facebook. They've banned Twitter. Many things they've banned in China because they can't control it. They create their own versions of stuff, so they're able to control the population. This is where you get to the point where dictatorships are happening. China is a dictatorship, has been for quite some time. Socialism, communism doesn't work. People in this country are trying to get some of the situations like China. They say, well, it's not really China. It's going to be different from that. It's the same. It's the same ideology. You can't change it. You can remold it. You can add something to it. It's still the same old bullshit. And this is the things that goes on there. This poor girl wore there because she liked the character in an anime. And she was taking pictures. She wanted to show it online. And the cops come running in. Could you imagine that happening here? Could you imagine that happening here? That is total disgusting. And try to blame it on another country. Not everyone in Japan agreed with the leaders of Japan with the war. But they went to war. The whole world was at war. That's why it's called a world war. There was not a country on the planet that wasn't fighting either with the fascists and communists and the Nazis, or was on the Allied side. You know, you had everyone in all cross corners, and millions were dying. Millions were dying. Let's put it this way. Think of it to the point, okay, we're American. And we have, say, for example, American genes, or jean jacket or something like that. We wear a jean jacket overseas, and someone says, well, I don't like that because you're American and what you guys did when you came over here and you attacked us in this country. Could you imagine that? You say, well, then you're going a little overboard to the situation, but that's what happened here. She wore a kimono, a piece of clothing, and she was attacked by law enforcement for wearing clothes that was not agreeable. Guys, that's not freedom. That's subjugation. That's dictatorship. These are the things that we've been fighting to protect us against. These are the things that people are teaching our children in school that says, oh, we have to be this way. If you don't agree with us, you're racist, you're a white supremacist, you're this, that, this is the phobe, that is the phobe, everything across the board. When you say something like that, that is not free. That's being oppressed. Do you understand oppression? Some of you don't. There are those out there who don't understand what oppression is. You've just watched a segment from our Madman Cafe show every Sunday night at 6 p.m. You can catch it over at Odyssey. Check in the description below for the link that will lead you to our Q2Cast TV site.